Here's the list of teams that have missed the playoffs each of the last 3 years. It's teams that if we try to put in the show, Hubs gives us a funny look.
Yeah.
More the Giants a little bit once they got Harbaugh. The Jets with Aaron Rodgers. Number one pick Raiders. No, nobody cares. Number one pick Cam Ward. Right. And so.
This is precisely what I want to dive into. You hear Wildes joking about wanting more Titans content, and he's clearly being sarcastic about it. That's exactly why I push myself so relentlessly to produce content for so many different teams. That's why I make every effort to generate as much Tennessee Titans coverage as humanly possible. Whenever I stumble across a clip, whenever I need to construct something from practically nothing, I do it. This is also why I have to deliver my little pitch and say, please watch the full-length video, please subscribe. When you commit to that, the numbers soar, views go through the roof, subscribers multiply. And it's not about chasing those metrics for their own sake, it's about being able to actually create Tennessee Titans content that people genuinely want to watch and engage with, so we can have real, unbiased, grounded, honest conversations about this organization. Because it is extraordinarily difficult to do that. It barely even exists, to the point where First Things First is openly laughing about it. They're poking fun at the very idea, and at least they're being honest about it. At least they're upfront. But for some of these teams, the Titans included, I produced more videos than all of those mainstream shows combined. So that's why I appreciate it so much when you all rise to the occasion, watch the full-length content, and subscribe. Because I am genuinely, sincerely trying my absolute best to redefine how we conduct sports talk. LK conversations. To transform how we handle all of this discourse. I truly believe teams like the Tennessee Titans should be discussable on a regular basis. And I understand that mainstream programs can't do that all the time. I get it. I'm not delusional. I recognize the constraints they operate under. So it's not even an inherent criticism of those shows. I completely understand their position. But at the same time, in many ways I'm actually grateful for that reality, because it carves out space for me to exist. It allows me to do one of the things I love most, defend the overlooked, and try to see what others aren't seeing. And the Tennessee Titans are squarely in the center of all of that. I'm incredibly excited for this upcoming season. Last year, I realized I wanted to make a much stronger effort to cover other teams. I was genuinely excited about the Titans, but obviously it didn't pan out exactly as I had hoped. The coaching situation was chaotic, among other issues. But I'm a huge believer in Cam Ward, and I'm obviously thrilled to see what unfolds this year. Still, it was frustrating because it remained genuinely difficult to balance everything and find the Titans conversations that were actually worth having. This coming season, I am absolutely, positively going to double, triple, and quadruple down on all of this. I'm going to deliver way more Titans content. And don't get me wrong, there will still be all the other stuff as well. There will be no shortage of ES content, Bills content, and all the major storylines. But I'm going to run myself into the ground and do everything I can. Because one of the speeches I used to give is, listen, I only have so many hours in a day. So when I make a video about the Titans and only a couple hundred people watch it with maybe one comment, it's really hard for me to keep producing that kind of content. I want to make videos that people actually want to watch and discuss. If I keep creating content that doesn't resonate, what am I supposed to do? I can't just keep doing that. I wouldn't be serving the people who are already subscribing and tuning in. And that's exactly why shows like First Things First say, well, we're not going to cover teams that people don't really want to watch. I get that logic. But I want to be able to deliver an experience where everyone realizes there's plenty to discuss. Because I'm a firm believer that these mainstream shows, in many ways, are the ones that tell you what to think about, what to care about, what team to watch, what story is interesting. They dictate why we should care. And most people aren't watching all the games, so they don't know otherwise. I guarantee you that the vast majority of people who watch the NFL didn't watch a single Cam Ward game. That would change if the media started saying, Cam Ward is great, a young up-and-coming quarterback. The Titans are building something special here. Then people would think, oh, okay, this is interesting. But not everyone is locked into the NFL. Not everyone watches all the games. Not everyone has Red Zone or the full package to see every play. The vast majority of people aren't doing that. That's the absolute reality. How many games are you watching right now? How many Jets games did you actually watch? That's the answer right there. How many Cardinals games were you locked into? Probably none, except maybe when they played the Cowboys on a Thursday night or something. That's just how it works. And I understand that completely. However, I want to find a new way through it. Last season, I really got into doing post-game clips immediately after the games. The year before, I didn't do that as much. I would do it here and there for a game or two. Then I started truly enjoying it, especially because so much crazy stuff was happening last season. Typically I only make 2 or 3 because I want to watch all the games properly. If I try to watch too many simultaneously, I don't feel like I absorb them as well. But there was so much demand, everyone was saying, you have to react to this game, you have to do this one. And it made me realize that this is a major part of what I really enjoy, reacting in real time to a game we all just witnessed. I'm so excited to be able to do that for teams like the Tennessee Titans. I watch John Middlecoff and Colin on their podcasts, and they don't cover every single game, understandably, because Colin has a full-time mainstream media job. I don't want to hold his feet to the fire there. That's not his role in the sports ecosystem. And in many ways, it's not first things first's role either, to talk about the Titans and the Saints every single day. That's totally fine. I respect that. It's honestly no real knock on them by any stretch of the imagination. It just is what it is. But it is a bit of a bummer when I watch a game and I want that immediate conversation. I'll watch Colin and John's Sunday podcast, and they don't cover every game. There's always that one game where you think, what the heck? Why didn't they discuss the Chargers-Titans game or something? And you're just like, come on. It's a bummer. Then you think, well, tomorrow. Then Monday comes and they don't cover it. Alright, hopefully Tuesday. Wednesday, they finally get to it, but by then it's Thursday and we're already moving on to the next week. I want to be able to deliver that post-game experience, the immediacy of it, for the Titans, at the very least on a Monday. That's why I'm trying to figure this out. I can't make 30 videos on a single Monday, YouTube would tell me I'm posting too much. So I'll have to figure out exactly how I want to structure it, or if I need to change things and combine coverage. Usually I do one video per team because I personally prefer it that way. I'm always open to suggestions and figuring out other options. But I'm excited to have to solve this problem, and I'm excited that this is actually my biggest focal point going into this season. Again, there will be no shortage of Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens content, all of that will still be there. But I am so hyper-focused on creating videos for teams like the Tennessee Titans. I am locked in on that. That is arguably my primary objective right now, outside of the fact that I just think this season is going to be bonkers. I really do. I think it's going to be insane, more competitive than we've ever witnessed. I'm just so excited to create that experience for these often overlooked fan bases. That's what I'm really waiting to be able to do. That's why when I see a clip like this, my eyes light up. I think, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is literally what I've been preaching and screaming about. This is precisely the point I'm making. And again, I can make the same kind of video for the Falcons, for the Saints. This is what it's about right now, trying to open that door and deliver quality, deep dive conversations. And it's stressful. I realized something last season, it was really convenient that the Titans weren't good, that the Falcons weren't really that good, that the Giants and Jets were struggling. Because then I didn't need to watch those games as deeply. I fundamentally didn't need to know those teams in general as thoroughly, because that's not where the conversation was. If all 32 teams were great, that would be overwhelming. You don't want that, whether you're making videos or working in mainstream media, because it's too much. You can't possibly keep up with every single team. It's just too much to handle. That's why, even with my best efforts, I can't possibly know every single thing about every single team. That's why I see this whole endeavor as very collaborative. I rely on the fans to fill in the gaps. Hey, this guy is trending to be back by week 4, or this injury happened. I can't keep up with the injury report of every single team. I can't do that. Or when I'm referencing a game, I might say, it was like when you lost in week 7, and someone will respond, yeah, but remember, we were missing our left tackle and our center went down in the middle of the game. And I'll think, oh, right, I forgot about that. Because it's genuinely hard to keep track of all that information. So again, to me this has always been a collaborative process. That will definitely be emphasized with what I'm looking to do moving forward. I'm really excited. And seeing a little mini segment like this, where people are literally just laughing about making videos about the Tennessee Titans, poking fun at it, I think, let's go, baby. Let's go. This excites me. It genuinely excites me. I'll just leave it at that. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you all think about the idea of laughing at the need for more Tennessee Titans content? Because that's exactly what Wilds was doing, straight up. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment, Heather, you agree with me or disagree with me? Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's have some debates. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I would genuinely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing that. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.